Hey, what's good, guys? Jason here with another at-home workout to pass by these quarantine days. Um, so I just wanted to go over another at-home workout. I wanted to go over chest and triceps today. So, like I told you guys, as far as my hypertrophy training goes, I like to split it up with push, pull, and legs. With obviously legs being the entire lower body. Push would be any movement, bench press or push-ups where you're pushing away from your body. It can be an overhead press, and pulling are going to be any kind of movements like pull-ups, lat pull-downs, rows where you're pulling the weight towards the body or pulling your body towards an object. So today I want to go over push, chest, triceps, and shoulders. So also, like I said in the last video, the way I like to structure my workouts and generally what works the best is going to be setting the heavier compound movements first. So the movements that work the most muscles and the most joints, which in this case, when your body is the only thing you have, that's going to be push-ups. So I'm sure most people know how to do a basic push-up. It's pretty standard and well known. But for those of you who may not know exactly how to go about it, generally you're gonna want to go about shoulder width or a little bit further for me, as opposed to going on my hands. I like to use my fists. Might not be right for everybody. I just like it because it adds a little more range of motion. So you're gonna have your feet together, hands about shoulder width or a little further. Come down until your torso touches the floor and back up. So these are going to be great for the chest, anterior deltoids or the front of your shoulder, and the tricep, just like bench press. And now I know not everybody is going to be able to do these on a level where you can do the sets and reps needed for hypertrophy. And for some people, it's going to be the opposite. You may be more advanced. You may be a regular gym goer or someone who does push-ups on a daily basis, and you need a way to make them more difficult. So for the people who can't do them, I know a lot of people tend to go for the girl push-ups, which I don't like that name, but that's what they call them. So basically, a girl push-up is where you remain on your knees, keep your feet up, you come down into the push-up, and push back up. The reason I don't really like those is because it takes out a lot of the muscles that you're using in a push-up, mainly the core muscles, which I really like about a push-up, because you're not just working the chest, but you're basically doing a plank through the movement. Holding your core together works the abs, it works the obliques, lower back even. So what I would recommend for people who maybe find a push-up more challenging is to either find a surface to do them on. You can use a counter or a wall or a desk or whatever you have around to basically invert your body onto a surface, and you can come up this way. Or my favorite, which I use for my clients, I like partial reps, because you're still putting the same amount of tension on the muscles, even though it's not through a full range of motion. So basically doing a partial would be just like regular push-ups, starting at lockout, coming down as much as you comfortably can, and pushing back up. Do those for reps, and as you get more comfortable, as opposed to in the gym where you would increase weight, you want to increase the range of motion and work up to a point where you can bring your body all the way down and back up to lockout. So for the people who maybe don't find regular push-ups as challenging, you can invert your body the other way. I like to put I live alone, nobody can tell me what to do. I put my feet on the couch. I like to put my toes up on the couch to invert my body. This way, more of your body weight is coming down and more pressure is being put, or more load is being put on the muscles worked. Down and back up. And another thing I really like about those is it does put more emphasis on the upper chest, which looks really good for guys when you have the main cleavage, where you can see the, you know, the bricks coming out and around the clavicle, and it works on the shoulders a lot really well too. So sticking with push-ups, we can go right into triceps. So a really good move for triceps is basically taking the push-up inward. So the further out you go, you're gonna work more of your chest. The more narrow you go, you're gonna work more of the triceps. So they call them diamond push-ups because you generally start with your hands here. So kind of hard to balance. So if you need to, you can bring them out a little wider. But for the diamond push-up, you generally make the diamonds with your hand. This is a starting point. And with this one, you want to focus on keeping your elbows tucked into your sides. Come down. Back up. So like I said, as you come down, your elbow should slide against your ribs, and then you push back up to lock out. And these, again, may be more difficult for some people. And so if you need to, you can always find a surface, couch, or grab a towel and put it over a desk or a table, and something that's sturdy enough, and basically do the same thing. Come down, push back up. So those are really good for triceps. And another thing I like to do is, I know you guys have seen my 2-gallon jug. I like to get creative with this thing. So I use this I've been using it since I've been stuck at home for tricep extensions. Basically, you bring the weight behind your head, lower it down, and extend. Lower it down and extend to lock out. So for this one, you guys can use anything you have around the house. You can fill up a trash bag. I've used before empty milk jugs or water jugs. I know a lot of the time, like the Crystal Geyser gallons, they have the strap on them already, so you can kind of use that and get creative with that. And you can also, you know, fill and drain water as needed to make it lighter and heavier. So that's a really good move for triceps. And with that, you can get creative, and you can also lie across the couch, bring the arm down like this, and extend up, down, and extend up. So any kind of movement where you're flexing the elbow this way against a weight or a force is gonna focus on the triceps. So you can kind of get creative with that at home. But basically those are a few moves that are really gonna help to build those muscles and keep them active and growing while you're at home, as opposed to just doing nothing. Again, that's key right now, is just doing something, being active, moving, and as opposed to just being sedentary during this time. So glad I could make this video for you guys. I hope it helped out. Again, leave comments and let me know if there's anything that you guys would want to see, or any questions or comments you guys have, and I'd be glad to address that in a future video. So y'all have a good one. Peace.